We're back in Leading Edge, and we are talking the tough subject of gun violence in Toledo. He is Jojuan Armour, hired earlier this year. This is a Toledo one. He's coming home to Toledo, has come home to tackle this thing as tough as it is. And we were talking about the multifaceted approach that is necessary because of the myriad of things, the circumstances that are causing the gun violence. One thing, and we talk about the circumstances, Jojuan, gun violence, no matter what form, involves guns. Boy, there's a deep statement from Jerry. But where the heck do all these guns come from? I mean, how do we have so many guns? Is there something there that needs to be addressed?
Absolutely. I'm working with Moms Demand Action currently now and addressing legislation regarding the purchase of firearms and laws that make it easier for individuals that perpetuate violence to purchase these firearms. I think, and that's similar to a question back in the early 90s when it came to drugs and cocaine. And, it isn't grown in the neighborhoods that are subject to the dangerous impacts of it. And so we have to identify where these things are coming from to kind of change the trajectory of what we're seeing. And so that is definitely pivotal. So it being able to partner with groups such as Moms Demand Action, who are currently doing that work, and kind of empower them with resources to allow them to do more and just identify how can I better assist them is definitely a part of my plan and my strategic framework.
Okay. Are those folks talking about gun reform legislation on the local level or like Columbus state level? What are we talking?
They work on the state level, yes.
Well, all right. I'm going to stay optimistic as tough as this is, but gun reform with the Ohio legislature ain't going to happen. I'm just telling you. A city council candidate, Michelle Grimm, responded to what the mayor said on our program last week, rolled out her own 10-point anti-gun violence program, including practices from something, I guess it's a national nonprofit called Every Town for Gun Safety. Okay, sounds great. But isn't it true, Jojuan Armour, isn't it true every town is seeing an uptick, well, more than an uptick, an explosion in gun violence? If it is, and I think it is, a national problem, really, can it be solved locally?
I think so. And I think it depends on the effort by which we approach the problem. Every Town for Gun Safety is a product of Moms Demand Action. They also have groups such as Survivors Network, which we are also implementing in Toledo. So I work very closely with Moms Demand Action and Every Town. But yes, to answer that question, I think it definitely can be improved locally. And it just depends on our approach. What we're able to do here in Toledo, I don't know if anyone else is doing it, by working with Cure Violence on one end to address those that are most at risk, by working with local grassroots agencies, by improving their capacity to able to serve more. And by having this kind of approach, I feel that by also incorporating the community as well. Our community volunteers has been an awesome program because over-policing is not the answer. Definitely police support is a part of that answer, but also working in tandem with community members who want to see change is also beneficial, because individuals in the community, children in the community, have to know that they're supported. And the best way that they can feel supported is by seeing individuals that look like them, come from the places that they come from, and have shared experiences they have, support them. And so I think it's a multifaceted issue, and the way we're approaching it is definitely unique to Toledo.
Some people say, fix this thing, fix it now. Folks, it's not going to happen overnight. We didn't get here overnight. So it's going to take some time to get out of this. And then also, when you talk about the community, I'm going to tell you, this is also true. Maybe you've heard it. Maybe you just instinctively know this. Jojuan Armour, my guest. Hey, as long as the shootings stay down in the hood, I'm not sure I care. I mean, Jojuan Armour, why should all of us, yes, even in the burbs, care?
This is a public health issue. It's not just isolated to inner city communities. This is a epidemic that spans across communities, that spans across economic, social economic status. It expands across race. Right now, African American males are the highly most impacted group to be impacted by gun violence, but it expands across those borders. And to address the issue as a public health issue, it takes the involvement of everyone. I believe it was 2010, 11, 12, somewhere around there, where car accidents were among the highest killers in the nation for individuals. But it was addressed as a public health issue. They didn't stop making cars, but what they did was improved on the system by which individuals were safe in cars, improving 10 belt 10-point inspection of cars, improving seatbelts, improving airbags. That's how it became decreased as a public health issue. And so with that same approach in addressing gun violence as a public health issue, getting the buy-in of everyone, I think that's how we will have answers to this particular problem. Everybody's not going to be interested in the solution. Everybody does not care about what's happening in our communities and our cities across the country. But, you know, at the same time, I'm not interested in those people's opinions as well. You know, my goal is to reduce gun violence, and by any means which I can do that, I will. And those that are willing to help in the fight, I welcome them. If they're not, you know, step to the side and let us work.
And from the looks of things, he's not a violent person, but he was an athlete. He could escort you to the sidelines.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. I still wish he would have attended Bowling Green. That's water over the dam, under the bridge, whatever. He's a Miami guy, but out of Toledo, championship football player, All-American football player, and now with maybe the toughest task of his life on his plate. He is charged with reducing gun violence in the city, and we wish you nothing but the best. Keep up the good work. If we can help, let us know. And folks, pitch in where you can as well. Jojuan, thanks for spending time with us.
Thanks for having me, Jerry. I appreciate it. Good seeing you again.
It is nice. It is nice to see you. And I'll be right back.